Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and happy Sunday, September 18th of 2022. A little hard to believe we are this far into September already, and I wanted to give you a quick update on what has been going on with the healing of my knee, which has been amazing, spectacular, had its challenges, had all kinds of epiphanies this week as I've, done my workouts and I've sat and iced it, and it gives me a moment to have reflection a little bit more often during the day than I normally would have. But I've also had so many cool things happening that I just am so excited to share some of this stuff with you. So I hope I can bring it together in a nice, coherent way that will maybe provide some nuggets of things that you see in your own life and in your own self, your own journey as we walk through this incredible wow time together, right? So the update here is this. So tomorrow it will be 4 weeks since I had my lovely knee surgery. Like I said, every day I'm so grateful that everything worked out the way that it did. And it's provided an opportunity for me to see little things that I probably would have missed. And just, one of the coolest things that happened this week is every day my son Brian brings his dog to work. And we are a very dog friendly, pet friendly company. And we're lucky that sometimes in some of our offices, we get to bring our dog to work. So Brian brings his amazing dog to work every day. His name is Loki. And this week, he must have known that I needed a little bit of attention, a little bit of love. And he kind of like stayed close by me. This is the main place where I do most of my work on this computer that I'm talking to you on. And he would come and just kind of be by me, lean against me. And there was one day in particular, I think it was Wednesday, he literally spent the whole day by my side and he just kind of loved on me. Um, he has this little thing where he wants your attention, so he'll come right next to you and put his paw right up on your leg. And it was an all day thing. And I will tell you, I did feel like it was kind of a little bit of a hard day. My knee was kind of hurting. The rehab was getting a little bit challenging. And as I got this just unconditional love from Loki, I just felt, oh my goodness, animals are so important in our lives. And I totally understand that there are lots of people who aren't pet people, animal people, that I don't own a dog or a cat. But I have in the past, and both my sons do, and I get to reap all the benefits of that. But that was like such an amazing thing just to have that presence of these beautiful animals that just give us unconditional love and non-judgment. And it's like they can feel that we need some attention and just some presence, really is what that is. And then here's a really cool thing too. So as you know, I have lots of siblings. Uh, I have 8 sisters and 5 brothers, and that makes me one of 14. And one of my brothers lives in Arizona. Hey, Matt, if you watch this, I know sometimes you do. But he's actually one of those people that has been doing the Grand Canyon hike rim to rim. And he does it on a kind of a regular basis over the years. And different family members will reach out to him and say, hey, I want to do rim to rim. When is a good time for me to do it with you? And because of the issues with my knee, it's been something that I've never been able to commit to because it's 22 miles. There can be some strenuous uh, parts on it for long periods of time. You have to train. And I've just not been in a position the last few years to really do something like this. So the last, right, I think it was either couple days before or a couple days after I just had this done. So about a month ago, I reached out to my brother and I said, hey, okay, I'm going to have a bionic knee. I am going to get in great shape. And one of the things that was at the top of my list is to do the rim to rim hike of the Grand Canyon with you. And he was all excited. He started, we threw out a date for next year. And so it's kind of been on the schedule. Well, a few of my sisters jumped in and said, hey, I would like the chance and the reason to train for something like this. And it's kind of turned into this beautiful um, thing that there's a few of us in my family who are planning to do this amazing hike together next year. I mean, what a gift, right? And I realized that even though the timing was perfect for me to have this procedure done on my knee, um, it's a piece of what I've been missing because I've still been hiking and I've still been doing active things, but I've been in a lot of chronic pain from it. And I'm so excited and grateful to be able to have the chance to have this amazing procedure done, modern medical technology, to have it go the way that it did and everything line up that it did, and then to think about the brilliance of the future of moving my physical body and getting the kind of exercise and movement that I love so dearly. I mean, what a gift. So as I've gone through this week and some of these different things have come through, I've, as usual, written these down. And I want to just kind of go through them quickly, and hopefully there will be little nuggets of things that you can pull from. So here's a cool thing. When you heal, there are energies that come through, uh, and if you pay attention and if you listen. So whatever is arising within you, and whatever not only the energies are, but the emotions. When you're healing, there can be all kinds of emotions, and I have found myself in moments of like, I'm already tired of this. Moments of, I would say, not necessarily with this particular issue with my knee, but with what's happening in the world, the energies, the uncertainty. I've had some intense feelings of anger rise up in me, and I'm sure some of you can relate to that. And what happens is this is an opportunity to let these emotions, especially these lower frequency emotions like anger and fear and all of these things, it's an opportunity for these emotions to be our teacher and sit with them, feel them, realize that they are here to teach us things. And part of this journey of being a human being, and as weird as this might sound, the suffering that we have is part of it. And it's not a permanent thing. It ebbs and flows. And, we are living in really life-changing times. I believe that there's two timelines that are happening. There's a timeline when humanity is going to make the choice as a collective to go one way, or it's going to make the choice as a collective to go the other way. And I believe that there's already kind of a split in the way people see the world and the perspectives that they have. And it can be a little bit unsettling. And I think all of us are kind of like, at a certain point, how can you not see? How can you not see? Like, we have to just live our truth. We have to realize that everyone is on their own journey. I think we need to respect other people's perspectives. This can be the hardest thing, right? That is one of the hardest things that I finally feel like I've gotten this in. I have my moments, but they're so rare at this point that I do my best, and I feel like at this point I'm getting very successful at it, to be completely non-judgmental of people who have different worldviews and different perspectives than mine. And one of the biggest things that I've found is to, yes, keep myself informed, but then disconnect from all the nonsense that's happening and take the steps that I know is going to be beneficial for myself, my family, my grandchildren, my children, the people that I care about, and just ensure that I'm doing everything in my power to be the best living example of all of that I personally know how to. So that keeps coming into me. It's like, wow, yeah, I've had so much growth these last couple of years that I'm grateful for it. I am curious about what the future holds. I would say, and I said this last week, I'm more confident that and then hopeful, because hopeful is kind of like, well, I hope things turn out. I hope. But to me, when you have confidence, you can actually take the action to do things differently that will benefit the rest of humanity, and even the people that's in your close circle, because that is at a certain point, the best that we can do. So here's some of these other really cool things. Work on seeing things from a higher perspective, a different angle. Fly higher and see the new possibilities. We need to zoom out of the small construct that we're in. Be willing to think outside the box. Think outside of your belief systems. Be willing to realize not just the potential, but the power that we each have. And the deep programs that we've been spoon fed and we've come to believe as truth, be willing to think outside of that box and think, well, maybe that's not true. This is why it's a really good idea not to judge someone else for their perspectives. It will open the world. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to accept the worldviews or the perspectives. Be open to them, though. I think we've lost the art of being able to sit down with someone who disagrees with us. And it's time to bring that back. And when someone else is saying something that is their own view that might trigger you, sit back for a minute and maybe don't say anything, first of all, and then just let their perspective into your awareness and contemplate it. Contemplate it for a minute. Zoom out. Be willing to take a higher perspective, a higher road. Um, if you are feeling the need for change, ask yourself, how can I take the high road? This has been something that for me has been one of the things that I've actually always tried to do in all of my life. I will say I get better at it. The older I get, the better and better and better I get at it. Because it's like I can take any road I choose and other people can take any road they choose. If I want to change and do something different and something better, I can choose to take the higher road. I don't have to delve down into those lower emotions and lower frequencies because at the end of the day, it doesn't serve anyone. And if we all took the perspective of higher road, it's time for a change, then things can change very quickly. And to say that I'm not grateful for the growth and the change and living during these times would be a deep understatement. So I watch and see people all over the world that are feeling the same thing and feel the same gratitude. So if your intentions aren't for the highest good, it will only hold you back. If your intentions are not for the highest good, it will only hold you back. Think about that on a really deep level. Analyze that. Analyze that in yourself. And think about those things that make you congruent with the deep belief systems you have, the things that you know, your higher self, those things that, um, the world is moving into consciousness like never before. And it's a part of what I want to be a part of. So I invite you all to do things from a place of love, always. And, I get a lot of amazing, beautiful feedback from people. And every once in a while, I get someone that says, it's not all about love. Can't you see what's happening in the world? Well, you don't want me to tell you something? It is all about love. Unconditional, non-judgmental love. That's the place I want to be. That's the place I want to rotate. And I know so many like-minded people that I get contact with from all over the world. I get beautiful emails from people. I've had beautiful phone consultations and phone calls with people that, oh my goodness, the goodness and beauty and love that is out there. If you could zoom out and take the higher perspective, be like an eagle, soar up, envision yourself as an eagle soaring above your neighborhood, your city, your state, a range of mountains, and not only feel the freedom of that, but look at it as a higher perspective. And it gives you something different and you can feel it deep inside of your soul. And I will tell you, We know how to heal when we realize what potential we have. And when you vibrate in unconditional love, our body responds differently than when we're just in fear and anger and those lower frequencies. Let me give a shout out to a couple people. Frank in California, you know, the contact that we've had, the conversations we've had, you are a beautiful human and on your path to healing. Sally in Australia, we've exchanged a couple of amazing conversations. You guys are people I would love to sit and have a cup of tea with. And, I know that we're all brothers and sisters on this planet. Violet, um, so many people. I could shout out to so many people. But I hope you know that you have what it takes to be the person that you want to be in this amazing time. You can follow the timeline that is for the greater good and it vibrates in love and realizes our personal sovereignty and freedom and all the things that God granted us as human beings. These are our God-given gifts. And to go along with the narrative of any other way to be just doesn't feel congruent in who we are as human beings. So those are my thoughts for this beautiful Sunday. I hope you have the most amazing day, the most amazing week. I have a huge project that I've been working on that I just wrapped up this week. It's been interesting because as I've been rehabbing my knee, working on this huge project that I've been working on for years at this point, I will be unveiling that soon. I'm so excited for it. It's a passion project. It's a love affair to a very close person in my life. A love affair of just unconditional love. I'm not going to give anything else away, but I hope you have a beautiful day. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Turn on the notifications because then it keeps us in the algorithm. Share this if you feel like it provided some value. I thank you so much for being there and being on this journey with me. Life is beautiful, and zooming out to take a higher perspective is always the way to go. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.